Hello everyone, I'm Chef Alina Z, board certified holistic health coach, detox specialist, and a nutritional chef. And today we made a quiche. We used sweet potato for the crust and something else for the cheese. So check out this video and see how we made this. So we're gonna need sweet potatoes, then we're going to need eggs, broccoli, onion, salt, garlic, grapeseed oil, and then the cheese from the nacho recipes. So let's get started on making the crust first. We're gonna use sweet potatoes and we're gonna peel them. I love using a peeler, it's like almost therapeutic. I once had a contest when I was in a chef school, peeling an apple, and I peeled it with a knife, not even a peeler, and I won it. But I think peeling with a peeler is much easier. And as you see, I'm using the regular orange potato, a yam, and then this is Japanese sweet potato, which is yellow in color. And I like to use both just because, you know, why not? You can use either one. They do have different flavors. So if you're curious about that, do check it out. See which one you like, or use both. All right. I know you guys know that I'm a big fan of finding the flat surface and then cutting, but in this particular case, I'm going to just have to keep my hand really steady and cut circles out of the sweet potato, but you have to be very careful and watch what you're doing. And once it gets smaller, you can go on the diagonal. I'm gonna layer them on parchment paper. And you want to make them pretty thin, about this thick, and you want to make them all the same. Okay, as you can see, I have a small pan, so that's okay. I'm gonna have to do a couple of rounds, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of grapeseed oil and just put it on top so they don't stick to the pan when making the quiche, when we are making the quiche. And then just put a little bit of salt because it is sweet potato, so we wanna have a little bit of saltiness. And then bake it at 400 or 425 for about 10 minutes until they're soft. And then while they're baking, we are gonna make the filling for the quiche. So while that's baking, we're gonna make our filling. We're gonna warm up a pan with a little bit of grapeseed oil. And then we're gonna add onion. We're gonna chop an onion on a flat surface. And then you can just do this. We just wanna roughly chop it. You don't need to be focusing on it too much. It's actually easier to chop a whole onion than a quarter of an onion because you can hold on to it. But when you just have a quarter, it falls apart. So just do this, see? Super easy. Fingers are out of the way. Always hold on to the blade. Then we want to lightly saute it until the onion becomes a little translucent. And we're also going to add broccoli. And the reason why I'm choosing broccoli in particular, it's like broccoli, you know, the broccoli and cheddar cheese soup, it's kind of it goes together. Now, if you do want like a spinach quiche and you don't like broccoli, you can do your own cheese, just don't add the pepper and just put a lot of nutritional yeast. And if you don't even want to make the cheese, you can put a little bit of almond milk with some nutritional yeast mixed into the eggs, and that's it. And we can add the broccoli directly on top of the onion and try not to cry. Oh my God, onions always make me cry. Someday I'm gonna make onions cry. Someday. And while, oh my God. Sometimes I want to wear goggles. If you guys have any tips on what to do so you don't cry when you cook onions, please share. Because I do have a tip on how to not cry. When you're chopping a lot of onions, you chop them in a food processor and it's super easy. But when they start to cook and that comes into the air, oh, it's so hard. So I'm chopping garlic here. I'm gonna add garlic only towards the end because I don't want it to burn. And you want the vegetables to be soft but not mushy. So we're looking for the richness in color, and then that's how we know we're done. And while we are cooking the veggies, we're gonna get the eggs all blended in here. We don't need to use a whisk. You can if you want to be all fancy, but some people don't have whisks. I do have a whisk because I'm a chef, but this is what you do in the regular kitchen. Just do it with a fork. And like I said, if you want to use the nacho cheese from the recipe we did, go for it. That's what we are going to do. But if you want to skip that and you don't have time, just add some almond milk, about like a third of a cup maybe, and a couple of tablespoons of nutritional yeast and salt. And you got your own cheese. We do want to add salt here because when we do add a lot of like regular cheese, it's really salty. And then this is our nacho cheese from the nacho recipe. I'm gonna just mix it in. All right, let's see how we're doing. It's turning bright. Look at that color. I'm going to start crying again soon. Okay, and I think it's a good time to add the garlic. Let's do it like this so we don't get the hands dirty. All right, and it's done. Now let's see how our sweet potatoes turned out. Okay, so the sweet potatoes are done. I had to do a couple of rounds and I let them cool, but if you have a big tray and if you have the sweet potatoes right out of the oven, please be careful because they will be hot. I let mine cool for the video to show you. And now we're gonna layer it all together. So we have the sweet potatoes and we're gonna make our crust like this. We wanna overlap it a little bit. And then so it might slide, but we can put stuff in front of it. And then if you want to put yellow, alternating, depends on how much you have, you can do it like this. And remember, we used that grapeseed oil. The grapeseed oil was for this to not get stuck to the dish. And I have the previously cooked, the first tray. Sweet potatoes. Sometimes it's actually easier to layer them on the bottom first and then do the sides. And it's okay if you have space in between because the egg mixture will leak anyway, and that's okay. It will harden anyway when we're cooking it. And let's see, we want to have the tops nice. So it's like artwork here. You have to take a little bit of time. Sometimes it's a little messy, but that's okay. Look at Van Gogh, right? Or Monet. Some works of art are a little messy, but they're delicious. And that's what we're aiming for. Yeah, there you go. So now we're gonna put the broccoli, garlic, and onion on top. Oh, it smells so good. Honestly, like if you do garlic and onion and just cook them, it makes everything smell so good. If you want to use more broccoli, you can. If you want to use more onion, you can. This is a completely customizable dish. It has to be to your liking. Okay, and then we're gonna pour the eggs on top. You can put more eggs if you want. I didn't want to put too many eggs, but you can. I like to see the veggies here. And it's a pretty big dish, like this is 5 eggs. You know, you can probably do 10 in this dish, but now we're gonna bake it for, I would say about 30 minutes to 40 minutes at 420. And we want to make sure that the middle part is set. All right, so let's put that in. Okay, so the quiche is done. It took about 30 minutes and the middle is set nicely. Look. But it's super hot. So we want to make sure that it cools for about 10 minutes before we slice it. Give it maybe like 20 even, just to be safe. So the quiche has cooled. I was able to cut it and let's taste it. Let's see how it turned out. Looks good. It's very good. It's not as cheesy as quiche would be, but I think the broccoli and the nacho cheese really helps it. It's really good. Please share, let me know how you guys like it, and share it with friends and family. Let me know how you like it and subscribe for more recipes. Until later, bye.